What's your question from earlier, West? First post to mock on socials. Sorry. Please, champ. But I like to post it with the link of the YouTube page. I like to post it when I upload it to YouTube. Yo, Jeff, chill. Well, if I post it, you guys got to go fucking make sure you guys subscribe. I'll post it, okay? I'll post it. I'll post it on Instagram right now for you guys to interact and be pissed off. Read up, champ. Top 5 shooting guards of all time. Oh, okay. Top 5 shooting guards of all time. Number 1 all time, probably gonna be Kai. Number 1 all time because he's been an MVP candidate back to back twice. Let me think. For second all time. Reese has to be somewhere in there in the top 5. I don't know if he's necessarily like he might be at 5, but I have to think of other names. I have to see the other names. I think Reese the God is up there. It's Kai. After that, Malik's probably in the top 5. Probably Malik. You gotta have multiple good seasons. Johnny Red is top 5 right now. Like Johnny Red won a title, so Johnny Red has to be in the top 5. Like he won a title this year, best in the world right now at the position. Probably gonna go down to top 5 all the time. It's kind of tough because it's so early in his career. And I think one more 630. But he's played like PG and shooting guard. Kind of tough. I have to have another season on at 630, but 630 is probably in that conversation. Yeah, I think that would probably be my top 5. I don't know the order, but yeah, basically all the guys that are still in the league. Like I'll be honest with you, if you're a top 5 shooting guard in this league and you didn't like retire or some shit, you're out of the league. Like I don't think you can be top 5. Yeah, so one is probably gonna be one's probably Kai. 2 might be Johnny Red, but it's kind of early. Kind of hard to rank some of these guys just because they're so early. They've only been in the league for 1 or 2 years. Malik, Beast Move it might just be outside of the top 5. It might be 6. 630, etc. That's so funny. So funny. Sorry, I got a message. He text. I want to text Harris real quick. I think Harris at 10 o'clock. I just want to make sure Harris is when Harris is streaming. But I don't know if that answers your question, West. All right. Rigby was good. Rigby was good, man. E-Rich had really good runs. I don't know if he's top 5. I think the problem is with top 5, it's like not only about winning, it's about consistently being good. Like I don't know. Like If B. Rich is a top 5 shooting guard of all time, why is he currently looking like he might be undrafted? You know what I mean? Like, why is he in the draft pool? If he's a top 5 shooting guard of all time, why is he in the draft pool? You know what I mean? Like, if we had a top 5 shooting guard of all time, they're in the draft pool. It's kind of insane. But I also know they can only bring back 3. I don't know. Like, if he's not even the best player on his team, you guys want me to do top 10 sleepers or undrafted versus drafted? I think I'm going to do sleepers because sleepers isn't going to take that long because I already have it pre-prepped. That's one of the few things I actually had prepped and done. Let's do top 10 steals. And then, top 10 sleepers, and then we will transition over. Well, Season 6 draft is in 2 days, so we are going to do the top 10 sleepers in the Season 6 NBA 2K League draft. Now, sleepers is the definition to a lot of people to a sleeper. I think it's somebody that isn't rated that high, that isn't getting a lot of conversations. There's some guys I think that have come up recently that I had as sleepers, and they're kind of getting more conversations around them. Guys that I'm not consistently putting super high on mocks, stuff like that. Maybe guys that are getting late in the draft. It's like the late in drafts, not always on my mocks all the time. So I'm going to show you guys my top 10. So, starting at number 10. Number 10 on my sleeper list is going to be, if it would actually show, is Neff. Neff is a guy who I think has a very strong side in the 3 side. I don't think that there's a doubt that he's a good 3s player. I've watched him at 5s. I think he's a very good 5s player. I think that he doesn't get a lot of credit. It's kind of tough for a lot of these guys because it's like his first year really pushing. If he doesn't get it this year, I would not be surprised if he gets it next year. But definitely a top 10 sleeper in my opinion. Number 9 is going to be Peroxide. Peroxide, his profile picture, he's holding 2 belts for a reason. The guy, I haven't seen him be as crazy in this pre-draft as he was in like the post-draft, and then like he's been good over the years, played in the league before. He's had a lot of experience. Guy that I don't think gets enough credit. He doesn't get a lot of credit. I don't think gets enough conversations around him, and I think I think he might sneak in at the end of the draft, but really good player, doesn't get talked about a lot. Could be really good if he gets drafted. Book, another guy, guard position. I've seen good moments of Book. I don't think he's just consistently like showing up on my radar enough. Maybe I haven't done enough research on him. If Book doesn't get in this year, I think he's a guy that's probably like a selection next year to fill in for one of these guards that gets kicked out. Doesn't play well this year. So I think Book is, if he doesn't get drafted this year, he'll be a for sure pick next year in my opinion. Really good guard. Number 7, Low-Key Godlike. Even though I've been mocking Low-Key, I remember early in the draft process, thought he was really good. Really good pick and pop guy. Got it. He'll do his thing in 3s. I think this guy has so much upside, and for him not to be like in that conversation, at one point I did have him in the first rounds. A lot of people really pushed back on that. Now it's kind of flipped back over to people liking him. I think that he's going to be a slam dunk pick for whatever team actually selects him. Number 6, Goliski. Goliski's been going for the league for 3 years now. This is going to be his 3rd draft that he's going in. And, I think this is the year he gets drafted. Did a great thing in Dallas, obviously. Great performance. Was a big part of why they won that tournament. I think Glow is his time. I think that he should be drafted. I think that he has had good previous things. I think that he just needed that moment to really show who he is. And I think that Dallas event will be the difference maker for him and why he gets drafted this year. Number 5, Vector. Another guy who actually did some, he performed well in Dallas. He had some good games in Dallas. Played alongside Keno. Good shooting guard, good personality. Somebody I've been kind of looking at for the last 2 years. Kind of first saw him last year. Seen his game grow. He's getting better and better as he gets more reps. I think that Vector eventually will be, a really good shooting guard in the league when he gets that opportunity. I don't know if it's going to be this year, but if he gets it, he definitely should be an option next year, in my opinion. He doesn't get it this year. Number 4, Logic Stark. Logic Stark, another guy who's been multi-year trying to get in now. Has continued to grind and play this game. Looks really good in the lockdown position to me. Offensively, he has a lot of upside as well. I think that for him, I don't know why maybe it's my fault. I'm surprised more people don't try to push for him. I think he will get drafted this year, finally. Definitely a big sleeper. I think he's going to be a big pickup in that second round by somebody. Someone's going to get a really good lock here with Logic Stark, in my opinion. Tay's been winning a lot, and that's the thing about a lot of these Zero Gaming guys. They're all good players. I just don't think they all got that like name buzz, or like a lot of people don't believe in them. People always try to like doubt, and they try to like bring this team down. Like, oh, they use a 7-3, all this stuff. People like, I don't know. People give Tay a hard time, but Tay does his thing in fives. They've won a lot of events in pre-draft for a reason. It's Tay and Gazuli, a really good combo. Tay, I think that he's in that 50-50 category. I don't know where he's going to get drafted. I don't know when. It's kind of tough because there's so many good guards in this class. I don't think it's his fault if he goes undrafted. I think it's just how crazy this draft class is with guards. But if he doesn't get drafted this year, he definitely would be one of those guys. I hope he continues to play because he definitely would get drafted next year. Not this year. Number 2, Bougie. Bougie had a really good start to the pre-draft. Kind of fell off a little bit because he didn't play as much. I think he kind of thought he was set in a good position, walked away, then came back, had a good combine. He did good things in Dallas as well. He's had multiple situations where he's had some really bright spots. I just think that he disappeared and didn't play enough, and that's part of why I think he's in this like weird spot in the middle. But I think that he will get drafted, and he'll be a slam dunk pick if someone takes him, in my opinion. But yeah, definitely. 50 burgers. Yep. He had really good games. Bougie's going to be a really big pick in that second round. If he goes third round, God. But number 1, Rec Combos. I've seen, me personally, I've watched Rec in the beginning of this draft, seen him in the middle, seen him now. Rec, I think, is like if someone like the Jazz is trying to like develop a player and get a really good player late in the draft, this is the guy. Rec, I think, is one of the biggest sleepers in my opinion. Obviously, he's a combo guard, can play both PG and shooting guard. Really good player. Good personality. I think he could lead a team. Really good late pick, in my opinion. Yeah, and yeah, he is a good threes player as well. And that's the thing too. It's kind of tough because it's like, that's why like when I was doing the mock with like Vandy and Rec, kind of tough because if you get Rec Combos, it's kind of like oof with Vandy. But with the ad drop, there could be like the situation where they just grab Vandy for threes and drop him at the end of threes and pick up somebody for fives at shooting guard for Rec. Or Rec could just be a threes guy. Who knows? But these are my top 10 sleepers. What are your guys' thoughts? Who am I missing? Who am I missing on my top 10 sleepers coming into this draft class, in your guys' opinion? You trade that franchise for Reg. That's funny. Bluto's grabbed a lot of buzz at the end here. Willow, top 10 overrated. That's kind of tough. Because like, what do you base that off of? Like I can base. I guess you could base off who everyone's talking about. Like me and Harris are the main voices. It's kind of tough. Like underrated. Sleepers. Like it's like based off of like people that I feel like I haven't talked about a lot. Clampism's not a bad one. I actually think Clampism. Yeah. Clampism's definitely one of them. I'd say he's probably a big sleeper. I don't know. I'm just trying to think how like I can do. I God, you guys are trying to get me in trouble with people. Overrated is just a very dangerous one. I get if you get what if you get someone undrafted for that? That'd be insane. But definitely, definitely gonna be an interesting draft, to say the least. Only 47 spots, so there's gonna be a lot of guys that are undrafted. They're gonna have to follow to the following draft next year or league bench. You know, I think that one thing that's gonna be interesting is doing league bench content, like saying who we think, like me, Harris, and all of us think is the best league bench people. Um, Most overrated is sports team. Most overrated is Chant 2K. Um, hmm. See. All right. So